You know, life has a strange way of circling back to the very places we once prayed to forget. That night, the rain was colder than usual, the kind that seeps into your bones and whispers old memories you thought had died years ago. I was driving home from church when I saw them, a man and a baby, under the bridge. He was trying to cover the little one with his jacket. I slowed down, I don't know why, but I stopped. I walked toward them, holding my umbrella. "You shouldn't keep the baby out here in the rain," I said. He looked up at me, tired eyes but kind. "We'll be fine, ma'am," he said softly. "It's just for tonight." But when I looked at that child, something deep inside me trembled. In those tiny eyes, I saw my son's eyes. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time thunder rolled across the sky, I imagined that baby crying under the bridge. By morning, I made soup, packed a blanket, and went back. He was still there, sitting beside the baby, humming softly. "You didn't have to come back," he said. "Oh, but I did," I told him. "Nobody should be alone in the rain." He smiled faintly. The baby reached for my hand, small, warm fingers. And I thought to myself, it's strange how love remembers, even when the mind forgets. He told me his name was Ethan. He'd lost his job, his home, and the baby's mother had left months ago. "What's his name?" I asked. "Eli," he said. Eli, the name hit me like a storm. That was the name my son once said he would give to his child someday. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, the sound of rain reminding me of the night my son left. I remembered Daniel, my only son. He stood by the door with a suitcase. I was angry, he was too. "Please don't go, Daniel," I had begged. He looked back, eyes full of hurt. "You never believed in me, Mom." And then he walked away, disappearing into the rain. That was 25 years ago, and not a single day passed that I didn't wish I'd stopped him. The next evening, I went back again. He smiled this time when he saw me. "Are you following us?" he said jokingly. "Maybe I am," I smiled. "Come sit in my car, it's warmer." He hesitated but eventually stepped inside. The baby fell asleep in my arms, peaceful, trusting. "You remind me of someone," I said. "Someone I once loved very much." He didn't answer, just smiled quietly and looked out the window. That night when I got home, I opened my drawer, the one I hadn't touched in years. Inside was an old photograph, Daniel as a boy, smiling, a small birthmark under his right eye. The next morning, when sunlight fell across Ethan's face, my breath caught that same mark. I whispered to myself, "Oh my God." I didn't say anything yet. I was afraid. What if it was just coincidence? What if my heart was playing tricks? Still, I couldn't let them go, so I invited them home just for a warm meal. He hesitated. "I don't want to be a burden." "Nonsense," I told him. "Home is never a burden." Inside, I made them soup. The baby giggled as he played with an old toy car. Ethan looked around. "This place feels familiar," he said. "Maybe it's because love feels the same everywhere," I smiled. Then I brought the old photograph. "Do you know this man?" He froze, his hands trembled as he took it. "That's my father," he whispered. "I found this same picture once at the foster home." My eyes filled with tears. "Ethan, your father was my son." He stared at me in shock, and then tears began to fall both ours. He put the baby down and hugged me tight, crying like a boy who'd finally come home. I held him and whispered, "I lost my son once, but God gave him back through you." Sometimes, the family we lose finds its way back when love refuses to forget. Days passed, they stayed with me. The house that once echoed in silence now filled with laughter again. Ethan fixed the garden, painted the old fence, and planted flowers in Daniel's memory. And I started knitting again, not from loneliness but from love. Every night we'd sit by the fire, he'd talk, I'd listen. And sometimes we'd just sit quietly, letting the warmth speak for us. One night, after tucking Eli into bed, he turned to me and said softly, "Good night, Grandma." My heart stopped. No one had called me that in decades. Tears filled my eyes. "Good night, my boy," I whispered. At that moment, I knew love had found its way home. Next morning, I woke up to the smell of burnt pancakes and laughter. He smiled shyly. "I tried to make breakfast, kinda failed." We laughed, a real laugh. We took a photo that day, the first family picture in 25 years. Ethan, little Eli, and me, all smiling by the window. I used to think my story ended in silence, that the world had forgotten me, but love writes new chapters, even in old hands. Sometimes the miracles we pray for don't fall from heaven, they walk toward us from under bridges in the form of strangers who were never strangers at all. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Your support helps us share more stories like this, stories about love, loss, and the quiet miracles waiting just around the corner.